told us that the works of the flesh are, pay attention, they're not what you think they are. They're malice, they're guile, hypocrisy, envies, and slander. You remember what those were? I told you need to hang on to those words. They keep popping up over and over again. Malice, guile, hypocrisies, envies, and slanders. We published his praises by displaying our attitudes which have been shaped by the word of God. Verse 12, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation. First Peter chapter 2 and verse 12. So here's another verse that encourages our good works. Having your conversation behavior honest among the Gentiles. You see that true Christians' separation is not some pious position that is to be assumed. It is not simply refraining from doing worldly things. It is very positive action. It includes honesty and good works. All believers in any kind of business dealing show forth the praises of God by their honesty. That is a witness to the world. Verse 13, submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers and for the praise of them that do well. First Peter chapter 2, verse 13 and 14. Mad Nero was just coming to the throne in Rome as a new emperor. The Roman Empire boasts itself that it gave justice to man. However, it was like every other government, including our own. The poor man has never had a fair chance. The rich man has always been able to buy lawyers who were smart enough to evade the law. The poor man is the one who has the problem with the law. Then, what should be the believer's relationship to the law? He is to obey the law. That is what Peter is saying here. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake. Since they were under Roman law, they were to obey it. Although Rome extended that their laws should be intended that their law should be just, they were not. Remember that Roman law crucified Christ and persecuted the early Christians, yet Rome boasts loudly about justice. It sounds like modern America, where religion, that is the preaching of the Word of God, is very politely being suppressed. Are we the rebel against the government? No. Are we to rebel against the government? No. We are to obey the law of the land. Now, verse 15, for so if the will of God that with well doing he may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. First Peter chapter 2 and verse 15. This is another one of my favorite quotations that I quote that by for so is the will of God, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. So our works should make them sit down and shut up. When the Christians submit to government and to those who are in authority over his life, he is again revealing the praises of God through his life. I have never accepted joyfully a traffic ticket, but I pay my fine and I try to be more careful to obey the laws. We are to be obedient to the laws because we are giving a testimony. And that concludes that section. Now we're